Welcome back, everybody, to MvMLive. We're here on another Wednesday with another Marvel game. Deadpan says we should be the M and MVM should be Man versus Marvel.
Man versus not versus Marvel.
Marvel versus Man?
No, it would be like MLM.
No, MLM is already a thing.
Man loves
multi-level marketing. It's already a thing. Welcome back, and we are tackling another Marvel game here today. That is just because David and I are big fans of Marvel, and we love playing Marvel Champions. You are too. You play Marvel Snap just as much. Maybe, okay, not as much.
Just as much? You heard it here. That is a bold-faced lie.
You do play a lot of Marvel Snap. Anyway,
I play some Marvel Snap.
I'm probably the bigger Marvel fan than David, but we're both Marvel fans, and we're both fans of Marvel Champions. So we thought we'd show off the new X-Men set, because this is what brought me into Marvel as a kid, was watching that X-Men animated series back in... That's the one.
Probably shouldn't sing too much of it. Don't want a copyright
claim. We get a copyright. Fox calls.
Because I did such a great rendition of it.
So because of that, we are playing one of my favorite scenarios from Mutant Genesis. It's Night of the Sentinels, which was the first episode of that, where they're trying to rescue Jubilee from the Sentinels, and that's what you're trying to do here as well.
Jubilee.
Is rescue Jubilee from the Sentinels, and
can we let them take her?
We're going to use Cyclops and Phoenix. But before we get into Marvel, Champions, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. A huge thank you to Game Toppers for sponsoring us, as always, and a big thank you to AEG for sponsoring a giveaway last week of Guild of Merchant Explorers. And that winner, I forgot to post it here. We had a whole new setup, so I forgot to do this.
So it's up here, coming out of Ryan's mouth.
It is coming out of my mouth. It's Nicholas Lee. Congratulations, Nicholas Lee. You won Guild of Merchant Explorers. Please email us at manversusmeeple@gmail.com. And we are going to be doing a sponsored giveaway today of the Mutant Genesis box. Now, it does require the core box to play, but you can basically, play it out of the box as is if you have that.
And you know what? We'll throw in Scott Summers and Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, you'll get everything that's out so far for the X-Men. So the Mutant Genesis, Phoenix, and Scott Summers, but it is only for U.S. residents. Yeah. So we'll have to confirm that just to make sure. But we'll be giving that away, so keep liking and commenting down below to be entered in, for a chance to win that. And I think we're ready to kind of jump in, because
we are. But I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
If you watched our last Marvel Champions stream, you'll know, and we're embracing this again today. Ryan plays Marvel Champions.
That's true.
David does not play Marvel Champions. So this is really just kind of like I'm tagging along. I'm kind of the sidekick in this scenario.
Yeah, that's fine.
You are the superhero.
Jean Grey versus Scott Summers is kind of the...
you'll ever hear any of these words come out of my mouth.
Anne asks, do any of you play Marvel United? Yes. In fact, I can see I have all of my X-Men or Marvel United painted right there.
Play is a strong word.
And on that table, which you can't see, is all of my X-Men stuff in the process of being painted.
Ryan, when's the last time you played
it's been a while, but I wanted to paint all of the minis before I play.
I think you'll paint them.
Well, I was saving Marvel United. The reason I got it is because as my kid grows up, he's gonna get more and more into playing games.
That's completely fair. Great game for those settings.
Jeremy Howard says Jubilee is the most useless mutant in all of comics history.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
All right, so
even as I wasn't a kid, but when I watched that cartoon and I saw that she threw fireworks out of her hands,
like sparklies.
Like, come on now.
So we're going to be playing, and we have it kind of set up here, and I'll be able to zoom it in kind of a little bit, so you'll be able to see, this is me playing Jean Grey, who is the Phoenix. So she has this card here, Phoenix Force, and my goal is to remove all these counters over the course of the game. If I do, this flips over, and I turn into Dark Phoenix, which she just gets super powerful if she does. Well, it's this card that flips over.
I see.
David is Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops.
Yeah, you wouldn't know by looking at just Scott Summers.
Then
boom, he's Cyclops.
You couldn't tell by the red eyes there?
You can't take his glasses off if you've ever seen anything about Cyclops.
Scott can use X-Men allies of any color, which is pretty good. So it's a protection deck. It's green, so he's good at defense, but he can bring in any X-Men ally.
It's because he's the leader.
Yeah, well, that is
he's a bit of a Boy Scout. I relate to Scott.
So there are a ton of allies. And David, you want to play your allies up here so people can see. You can have 3 allies at once, but he has 10 allies in his deck, potentially.
By the way, I want to point out, for those of you who want to test this out, We believe we're broadcasting this in 4K. Is that true?
Oh, I believe so. If you click your little button and change the
See if that works. Let us
thing.
know. It's an experimental situation. We know we are in a bit of a danger room
But we want it-
ourselves
we-
by doing that. But check that out because we are using the cameras in 4K, but we're just trying to figure all that out to give you the best, most visually pleasing experience possible.
we wanted you to be able to see the cards because there are a lot of cards here. And then we have the Sentinels who we are fighting off. So we have the Sentinel right here who comes into play with toughness, which is rough. So Knight of the Sentinels is the main scheme. Every time this fills up with five threat per player, so every time there's 10 on there, he starts stealing cards from our deck. Also, there's Operation Zero Tolerance. Every time the Sentinels kill an ally, they steal that card from our deck. So, if this ever has 5 cards in it, we lose the game. So that's how we lose. If they steal, so if this thing fills up too many times, or if the Sentinels kill too many of our allies.
Can you already tell that I'm hardly paying attention because I'm reading the comments?
I know you are. I'm
trust
talking
that you're
to the
gonna
audience
You're going
too.
to be the Scott Summers of
So
the
this is
team.
Mutants at the Mall right here. This is where we have to rescue Jubilee.
This is just like that first
Yeah.
episode.
And then we have abduction protocols. This will let us rescue, I'll set these to the side. There's a number of other allies as well that we can rescue over the course of the game. These are like the new mutants. It's
Wait a
like
minute,
Richter, Boom Boom.
Is this the reference that Jeremy Howard was making? He said Boom Boom Scott Summers.
Oh, I don't know. Boo Boo Scott Summers, he said. That's a different. Wolfsbane, who you might know from Marvel Snap.
I don't know what
You don't
you're
have.
talking
I have a
about.
Wolfsbane
I've
deck
never
in Marvel
played the
Snap.
game. I have no idea what you're
Okay.
talking about.
So I'll set these allies to the side. We can rescue these allies as well if we defeat that abduction protocol's side scheme.
Deadpan did confirm that 1440p is an option, so check it out. Hopefully it's a good option. Hopefully it looks good. If it doesn't look good, dial it back down to 1080p.
So, draw your cards, and you can mulligan your first hand if you have any cards. Like if you have like all allies and nothing to pay, like get rid of the allies you don't like. And you know what, David? You can just play your favorite characters from X-Men. You don't have to worry about what they do. You can just play them, and it's totally fine.
That's what I'm going to do?
Every ally in your game, so you have a lot of cards in there that help out your X-Men.
Sure.
Also keep in mind that he can search your deck for tactics cards. Scott Summers, Cyclops uses a lot of tactics cards. So yeah, Anne says 1440 makes a big difference. This is our first time streaming in 1440.
Nice.
So
Excellent. I'm glad.
we'll see how that goes for the future. Jean Grey is going to be first player. So let's see what I'm going to do here. I've got my hand of cards, and if you've never played before, you'll recognize there's a cost in the corner, and you have to discard other cards to pay that cost. I like this mind control. I hate to get rid of this in the first turn, but there's no minions to steal. I might just hold on to that for the next round. All right, so after I make a basic recovery with Phoenix, or with Jean Grey, I have to put Phoenix Force. That's really all she does. So we're going to flip right over. We're going to get right into the action as Phoenix. I can remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to generate a wild resource, which is pretty good. Yeah, so we're going to do that. I'm going to spend 1 power counter to generate 1 wild resource to play Phoenix Firebird right there. I can remove 1 power counter from... oh, I don't want to do that yet. I want to use Phoenix first and then play Phoenix Firebird. So I'm going to thwart for 3. We're going to take 3 off of Abduction Protocols and just get that one maybe out of the way. Then I'm going to remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to ready Phoenix. The issue is if I remove these too soon, I become out of control with Dark Phoenix. And so that's actually maybe bad to get them all out of the way. So we'll see.
Ryan, I don't know what I want to do here.
Well, I do. I keep knowing. I'm going to use Genius for 2 resources to play Telepathic Trickery. I'll remove 4 threat from his scheme. So I'm going to take the final 4 threat, or the last of the threat, off of Abduction Protocols. So that is done. When Abduction Protocols is defeated, the player who defeated the scheme takes 1 random ally from the captives and puts them into play. You want to draw a random ally for me, David? Let's see who we got.
I want Boom Boom.
Well, this is for me, so
I know.
don't draw Boom Boom.
Boom Boom.
It's unfortunate. All right, after Boom Boom attacks an enemy, place 1 bomb counter on the enemy. At the end of the player phase, remove all bomb counters from play and deal 2 damage to each enemy for each bomb counter removed this way. So she blows people up. That's pretty cool.
Clever name.
She's a captive. She's an X-Men. So I'm going to play Mission Training onto Boom Boom. She gets +1 thwart and 2 extra hit points. So her thwart is now 2. So I'm going to use her to thwart 2 off of this mutants at the mall. And then I will use Phoenix to take off the last of it. So I'm doing a lot of thwarting here. Jeremy says, I wish I liked this game. He doesn't like it even a little bit, he says.
I'm not.
So when defeated, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Sentinel and reveals it. Flip this card and put Jubilee into play. So I also get Jubilee into play.
Wow.
But I have to put a Sentinel into...
Maybe we should just let you play two-handed.
I'm going to put a little Sentinel
Mark. I
Mark
gotta tell you, I'm not even sure what I can do without like completely spending. That's gonna cost me 4.
So you've got cards like...
Just look what I got, everybody.
Yeah, but like look at Mutant Protectors. So whenever you're attacked, you can pay 1 to just put an X-Men into play, no matter how much it costs.
And this event sits out?
No, that's once time. That's when you're next attacked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have a lot of good reactionary things in my hand.
Scott is defense. He's a protection character, so he does a lot of stuff to defend.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of things that I would or should want to play right now.
Well, I can use Jubilee to do 1 damage. And this has a when revealed ability, the Sentinel, but I didn't reveal it. I just put it straight into play.
Oh, so you have a minion. Okay.
I have a minion now.
That's not bad. For me.
Oh, it does say reveal it. So, if Operation Zero Tolerance is in play, it is. Sentinel Mark II gains Surge. That means I have to... Oh, it's... Okay. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Operation Zero Tolerance scheme and reveal it. But I'm not in the encounter phase. So, all right. That's it for me, David.
All right.
Charity Board Gamer, Chris says, we're rooting for the Sentinels, he thinks. So, maybe you are. Root for the Sentinels. That's fine. So you definitely want to save that green card you've got there, the mutant.
This?
No, the first one.
Oh, yeah. But I think I'm going to play this.
That's good.
Pinned down. That's going to cost me
0.
Nothing, and I'm going to attach it to that mutant. What's it do?
It gives the mutant -2, or gives the Sentinel -2 attack, which effectively means we can just ignore him forever. He will never do any damage. You've got him pinned down, so I can almost just ignore him, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty good card.
I mean, the only other thing I'm thinking about is getting Banshee out, but I'm going to have to...
Well, you should save Banshee for when you get attacked, because you can play...
Why is that?
Well, when you get attacked, you can play Mutant Protectors and just put Banshee directly into play.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, then I guess...
Or Magic, or,
Should I thwart?
Probably. Or we can get rid of this tough.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to change over to Cyclops.
And notice that your ability changes too, when you flip into a hero.
Spend 1 resource of any type, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. So that's nobody.
Well, this guy, you could just kill him, but he's not really a threat right now since you basically negated his attack value. So.
Oh, but I do like the idea. No, I'll go. But my attack's 1 against him. So
well, you get rid of this tough, which is good.
That's it for my turn, right? I don't think there's anything else I can.
What do you got? What is that tactics card? Tactical Brilliance.
To get a card out of my discard pile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which there aren't any right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could mulligan at the start of your.
I know.
Okay.
I'm dealing with it. So now what?
And then you can mulligan now too if there's any cards you don't want. Like if there's anything you think is not great for you to have right now. Like maybe you just discard that tactical one and draw a new card to replace it, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I think I'm also going to get rid of...
Are you attacking to get rid of that tough, David?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got 37, no, 32 HP. I'm sorry, I can't really see it very well. He's got 32 HP. Anne says, I haven't had the chance to play Mutant Genesis yet. It released right before she moved. Oh, I didn't know that you moved, Anne. And Charity Board Gamer asks, what is your favorite X-Men storyline?
I mean, this is kind of a lame one to
Days
like.
of Future Past?
It is Days of Future Past. I'm a time
I think it's good.
I'm a time travel nerd. I mean, it's kind of like cliche at this point to like that one, but Days of Future Past is pretty awesome.
I like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Like that whole run with Apocalypse and all, that was awesome for me.
Apocalypse is not my bag.
All right.
So I did get rid of cards.
Okay, so then if we're done, everything untaps. We draw back up to our hand size, which might be smaller because you're in hero form. 1, 2. So I get 5 total. And then they're going to act. So I was the first player, so they're going to act against me. First of all, Knight of the Sentinels. Knight of the Sentinels is going to get 2 extra threat because that's what happens every round. And then the Sentinel is going to attack. So, David, he's going to attack me first. I am not going to sacrifice one of my allies because if we do, that's bad for us. I'm just going to let him deal damage to me. So he's going to do 2 plus revealing one of these. So he's going to do 3 damage to me. So I'll take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. I'm at 6. Now he's going to do the same thing to you. He's going to attack you.
Yeah.
So I know you've got some protection stuff in your hand.
I do. Hero Interrupt. Mutant Protectors. Play only if your identity is an X-Men. Boom.
Yep.
Hero Interrupt defense. When an enemy attacks, put an X-Men ally into play from your hand. Exhaust it and declare your defender.
Yeah, and you've got some good allies, right? You've got Banshee. You've also got Colossus.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do Colossus.
And he's got toughness, so his first the thing he does gets blocked. So he'd effectively come out with a tough card. But he is defending automatically because the card says he has to defend. So the Sentinel's going to do 2 damage, which means he'll just take away Colossus's tough. So you're good. So we survived the attacks, but then we're both going to get dealt encounter cards. So I'm going to get dealt an encounter card, David, and so are you. And I always reveal my encounter cards first, or I do this turn because I'm first player. Oh yeah, the Phoenix Saga is pretty good too. Another Abduction Protocols. All right, so that's going to come into play with 2, 4, 6 on it again. If we can get this one, we get another captive rescued.
Did the Phoenix Saga have the Hellfire Club?
No, that was, I feel like that was later, right?
I don't know. In the cartoon, they were intermingled.
Because the Phoenix Saga takes place in space with like the Shi'ar, right? And like.
Oh, that was definitely not part of the cartoon storyline, I don't think. Maybe.
I don't know when the Hellfire Club first appeared. That's a really good question. And I don't have the answer to that. Maybe somebody in the comments does.
Maybe someone in the comments, hint,
all right,
has the answer to that question.
Flip over your card. Let's see what it does.
Can this be seen?
Yeah. Energy. Oh, energy barrier. Attach to a Sentinel minion that doesn't already have energy barrier and give it a tough status card. After tough minion attacks, give it a tough status card. And it's got +2 attack. This might be good to get rid of this guy now, but he's got tough.
Yeah, but his attack is a net
it's net 2,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. But every time he attacks, he gets another tough status card. So that's unfortunate. All right, so first player marker passes to Cyclops, and then we get to go.
All right. Ugh. Oh, I have a question for you, Ryan.
Yep.
An event like this, when would I use this?
When you use your Optic Blast ability. So that's right
when
there.
I would use that?
Yep. So that's an upgrade. Or no, that's an event.
It's an event.
It's just one time.
So I would be using this, and I'll add this to it,
Yep.
basically? I see. Well, and he's still exhausted?
Yep.
I'm going to Optic Blast that guy.
Well, you should just attack him first, because he's got tough. Optic Blast would just get rid of the tough too.
Can I do both?
You can do both. Yep.
I'll attack him first?
So he has to tap to attack him. That's going to get rid of his tough.
And he can still do Optic Blast?
Yep. You could do
That's how it works?
Yeah, the only thing you can't do is another one of these colored actions.
All right. Optic Blast.
You have to spend a resource for that, right?
Yep.
And it does 3 damage.
3 damage.
So he's dead.
He's donezo.
And then does your thing let you do that to another target, or does it have to be the same target? Here's your...
It's to that attack.
Okay. That would have been nice if you could target somebody else with it.
So that's me.
Well, I appreciate that. That was really helpful. So let's see. There's no bad guys out right now. Let's take 3 off of Knight of the Sentinels, because I really don't like that. Oh, I can't. Not while Abduction Protocols is in play. I got to take 3 off of that. Boom Boom is going to take 2 off of this because of the +1 threat. So she's going to take another damage for doing that. But I have a card called Game Time. Choose an ally with training attached to it. Ready that ally and heal 1 damage from her, which is pretty good. Exhaust Jubilee and spend a lightning to deal 2 damage to an enemy. I might do that. I'll exhaust Jubilee and get rid of a lightning to do 2 damage to the Sentinel. So he's down to 30. And then Boom Boom can attack. So she's going to take another damage. She's going to do 1 damage to the Sentinel. So he's at 29.
Nice.
And then she puts a bomb on him. This is a reminder that there's a bomb attached to him.
When's that go off?
At the end of the player phase, remove all bomb counters from play and deal 2 damage to each enemy for each bomb counter removed from them. All right, and I don't have enough. Actually, I do have enough to play this. I'm going to use Psionic Bond, remove 1 power counter from Phoenix to generate a wild resource. I don't want to flip to Dark Phoenix yet, but I'm going to play 1, 2, 3 to put out another ally. This is Blindfold. After Blindfold enters a play, look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, discard 1 card, and put the rest back. So I can basically get rid of 1 really bad encounter card here. So I'm going to get rid of this targeted for elimination. This can be pretty bad.
All right. I'm going to trust him.
So we're getting rid of that. And then she can thwart for 2, so she's going to do that. And she's going to get rid of the rest. The last abduction. Oh, no, I don't want to get rid of the last abduction protocol.
Why is that?
Because I don't have a place to put the ally. I only have room for 3. So I'll just save her right now. Yeah, and there's a crisis icon on there. So that's the end of the player phase. This is going to blow up the Sentinel. He's going to take 2 more damage.
Boom, boom.
So he's at 7. Exactly. And then we all get to untap. And then we get to redraw our hands back up. Chris says he had the Uncanny X-Men 94, which was the first issue with the X-Men, including Storm and Wolverine.
Whoa.
Yep. That's awesome.
Oh, sold.
Yeah, he had it and sold it. Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Sell it for that wedding money?
Yeah. All right. We're going to add 2 more to this. This is getting kind of bad up here. If that ever has 10 on it.
And we can't address that until
we get rid of this abduction protocols first. So, well, you're still first player. So he's going to attack you,
Why
David.
am I first player?
Because you're still first player. Haven't changed for player order doesn't change yet. So you're still first player.
Well, when did it change earlier? You were first player.
I was, and then you were, and I will be again.
Oh, first player.
But it's still the same turn. So
I thought it was our turn again.
I wish we could just skip the whole attack phase. He's going to attack you. By the way.
Yeah.
Are you going to defend?
What's coming at me?
Well, it's 2 plus a card. We don't know. If he defeats Colossus, they capture him, and that's bad for us. So that's up to you.
I'm going to play Mutant Protectors.
Okay.
And I'm going to get rid of Banshee to do it.
And then you're going to put another card into play?
Yeah, another ally?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to put in Nightcrawler.
Oh, nice.
I've got quite the X-Men team.
You do. So Nightcrawler's out and defending. What does he do? He does something when he defends, right? When an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an attack, spend a lightning. Oh, and return them to your hand to prevent it all. Do you have a lightning?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, Nightcrawler's probably going to die then. If target for elimination is attached to identity, it's not. So you just take 2 damage. So Nightcrawler dies, which means they capture him.
So I have a question. Why didn't Colossus take any damage when he defended?
Because he had toughness, remember?
That period straight up just took off.
Takes all the damage away.
I see.
I don't want to... Oh, I mean, I'm only at 6 health. I'm just going to take it.
So did they capture him?
Yep. Ooh, I'm taking 5 damage. That was unsmart.
So strategically, you would say maybe I should have just taken that as Cyclops?
It's fine. They have to capture 5 to win, so we've still got some time. But that really hurt, by the way. So there's 1 card for you and 1 card for me.
And I resolve first?
Yes.
Abduction protocols.
There's another abduction protocols. All right, we're gonna. So now we've got to get rid of both of
Those
these.
pesky Sentinels.
They keep abducting mutants.
I'm gonna look at this abduction protocols card. The artwork on the Sentinel.
It's pretty cool. If you want to see it up close, you can. There's another one. Well, I'll put it right back here, and people can see it. So we got to get rid of both of those. And then mine is attach to the villain. The villain gets retaliate 1. Whenever you would attack the villain, it deals 1 damage back to you, and thus you can spend 3 science resources to get rid of that card.
Who is that?
I think that's like the mastermind or whatever.
Now, it looks like Megatron.
I mean, it does look like Megatron.
A lot.
I'm in a pretty bad spot right now. Yeah, I'm not in a great spot. So I'm going to... I need to flip over. So I'm going to play this downtime. Whenever I would recover, I get to recover +2. So I'm going to need that here in a second. And then I'm going to play team building exercise. I'll have to put this somewhere. Whenever I can exhaust it to play a card from my hand that shares my type. So a Sonic card or an X-Men card. I can make them cheaper. But I'm at 1 health, so I have to flip over back to Jean Grey.
You're at 1 health?
Yeah, and I'm going to heal. So I get to heal for 3, 4, 5. So I'll go back up to 6, which is pretty good. However, after I heal, I put 1 power counter back on Phoenix Force. So I delay the rise of the Dark Phoenix a little bit. I feel like I got to get rid of those, even though I don't really have a spot to put them. Boom Boom is better off attacking, so I'm going to have Boom Boom attack. She has +1.
Is this your turn happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
She has +2 health. Yeah, I thought you were. Sorry, I thought you had already tossed it to me. So I'm going to do one damage, and then he will take 2 more. That's and then she'll take 1 damage back from him, but she's still not dead because she has 2 extra hit points. So she actually has 5 health. So she is not dead. Let's see. I don't have lightning to use Jubilee's ability. So she'll just thwart for 1. Which is going to get rid of this abduction protocols. I have to. We have too much threat coming. When defeated, the player who defeated this takes 1 ally and puts it into play under their control. Of course, you can only have 3 allies, so I'll have to get rid of 1. Let's do blindfold. No, let's get rid of Jubilee.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
If only Marvel thought about that.
Wolfsbane can attack for 2, so I'll do that. Her attacks gain piercing, so she can prevent threat or toughness, but he doesn't have it anyway.
Does Wolfbane gain 2 power for every?
I thought you didn't play Marvel Snap.
I do. I just don't
and then
play
I'm gonna thwart 2.
remotely as much as you do.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to take 2 off of that one. So maybe if you can thwart a little bit, you could get an ally as well, because that would be good for you.
I was going to attack.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's fine. I'm done.
Is attacking okay?
Attacking is great.
All right. Well, I guess I could just attack for the 1 first, right? Because I can always use that, you said?
You could thwart for 2 as well.
Oh, you know what? I'll thwart for 2.
And then this only has 1 or 2 left on it. So if you have another way of removing 2, you could potentially get an ally.
I am going to not do that.
Okay.
I am going to use Optic Blast.
Yep. And yep.
Spend 1 resource. Oh, I can't do that.
Why?
Oh, I need 3 cards. Because this costs 1.
Oh. Well, you could still Optic Blast for 3.
I guess.
That's still pretty good.
I'll Optic Blast him for 3.
And you have to discard a card for that, so you can discard.
No, then I'm not going to do it.
You're going to save that pin down even though there's nobody to play it on?
I mean, I suppose.
I'm
listening to the master here, everybody.
If we
lose, it's definitely my fault. But
if you don't have an ally to play, he's only at 21. We're getting it. We're doing it. Lee asks, how do you like the box so far? I love this box. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm a huge Marvel Champions fan. I'm a huge X-Men fan. And so bringing those 2 things together was great. And you've got Sabretooth and Magneto and the Sentinels.
I'm gonna Colossus attack.
All right, so he takes 2 damage when you attack with him.
Yep. And does 3.
But he does 3, which is pretty good. Like, he's down to 18 for his first form, which is pretty good. Because now we're done. This is going to blow up. And he's going to do 2 more damage. So
16.
He's
How
at
many forms?
16.
How many?
He's got 2 forms.
2 forms.
We are playing easy mode, which is fine. But
That's
all right.
Wasn't at my request,
So
but it would have been had he asked.
I didn't want to play expert on the stream and lose in 10 minutes. It can happen. Oh, and so I forgot about retaliate. So you take 1 damage for attacking, or you used optic blast, so you're fine. But Colossus would take 1 damage and die.
Excellent.
But that's not an attack, so they don't capture him.
Oh, really?
That's really correct.
This is why Ryan's here, everybody.
It only is if they attack him.
This is also why I don't play World Champions on the regular.
If they attack Colossus and kill him.
So he goes over here?
So he goes there, yep.
All right.
So you'll get to get him back. So then we draw back up. I get 6 cards now because I'm in my
that's awesome.
Jean Grey form. I might need to heal again. I'm only at 6, so I might heal again. But I don't want to keep adding tokens. All right, so he's not going to attack me. He's going to thwart against me. This could be bad because there's already 6 on there. So he's going to scheme for 2, and this Sentinel comes into play. Great. Oh, wait, we add 2. So 3, 6, 7, 8. He adds 2 more. It's 10. So that's bad, actually. So this thing just filled up. Knight of the Sentinels triggers. The first player places the top card of their deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance. So now they've captured 2 cards. Yep. Yep. And then the Sentinel schemes for 2. So that was all bad. That whole everything that just happened there was bad. But you're not getting thwarted against. You're getting attacked.
Yeah.
So you can defend with Cyclops or you can take it. It's 2 plus a card flip. Unless you have some protection stuff in your hand that will save you.
2 plus a card flip?
Yeah, you're just going to take it?
Yeah.
So it's 2 and the villain gets a tough status card. So not that bad, actually. But then we have our terrible, potentially terrible...
So what just came at me there? The Sentinel?
The Sentinel. He attacks us every single turn. So I got to reveal mine. Oh, look, it's another adaptive armor. He gets plus 8 hit points.
Him?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he is up to 24, unless we can pay 3 lightning bolts to get rid of that. All right, well, let's see what you got, David. Oh, you got a Sentinel too. So he's got tough on him. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the energy barrier and attach it to this minion.
Oh, come on.
So he gets that energy barrier right away. So after he attacks, he gets a tough status card. All right.
What is overkill, by the way?
Any extra damage is dealt to the Sentinel.
I see.
But he's got a tough status card, so there will be no overkill damage.
So tough just takes all damage.
That's right.
I see. It's back over to me?
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. It's back to you. Can you thwart for 2 and get rid of that last abduction protocol?
Well, don't I want to get rid of this guy?
Well, if you can get rid of this, you get an ally that could help you.
Sure.
I mean, it only helps.
I'll thwart for 2.
Because if you were planning on attacking, you could just have your ally attack instead. So you're going to get one of these random ones, and this is going to go away.
Cannonball.
Nice.
Cannonball takes -1 consequential damage after he attacks and defeats a minion.
So if he does the final damage, he doesn't take damage. Otherwise, he takes a damage every time he attacks. Which all minions do, or all allies do. So.
Well then.
He can still...
Oh, he still has tough.
But he can take the tough off. Instead of you attacking, Cannonball could attack and take the tough off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same net.
Attack.
Tough goes away.
I was trying to use Cannonball to his maximum potential.
I mean, you're not going to be able to every turn. Next turn, maybe.
I will Optic Blast him for 3.
So you got to pay a resource to trigger Optic Blast.
Oh, those are not great.
All right, so you pay a resource to trigger Optic Blast, and then were you going to full blast?
Him?
Didn't you say it gets overkill?
It does get overkill.
So if you full blast him, the extra damage, oh, well, it'll just take off the tough. So 3 damage is going to kill that Sentinel Mark II. I can't quite reach that pile. Well done, David.
Well done, David.
Yeah, you got rid of that
I feel
minion.
like Ryan's like going, good job, David. Patting me on the head.
Chris says that he's a Morlock. Do you remember the Morlocks from X-Men?
Yeah. Weren't they like they were like in the sewers?
Yeah, they like lived in the sewers, yeah.
Oh, you know who else was like, although he's cooler now, I think.
Yeah.
But Morph was also kind of a lame character in
the
animated series.
They only created Morph so they could kill off one of the X-Men. Because they weren't allowed to kill off...
Was that an original character for the show?
Mm-hmm. But then they actually added him into the canon later. The more you know.
He's also in Marvel Snap. I'm done. I don't think there's nothing
Nothing
else
you could do?
I mean, not really. These are all...
You don't have 3 science icons, the purple?
What's his situation? What's his attack?
He's got 4. Can you do something? What's that practice defense? I'll get to 1 attack.
It just reduces his attack by 1.
Does Optic Blast say once per turn?
I would assume so.
Yeah, once per round. Yeah, it does. Otherwise, you'd be Optic Blasting forever.
Yeah, good.
All right, I can take care of this Sentinel. I can definitely take care. I'm going to heal with Jean Grey before I do anything else, though, which is going to unfortunately add 1 more counter here. But I get back up to my full 9 health before I flip over to the Phoenix side of things. I'm going to pay 3 lightning. I'll be the one that does it. So I'll pay 3 lightning to get rid of this adaptive armor.
Oh, I could have done that, I suppose.
Oh, you had 3 lightnings?
Yeah.
Oh, well, would you rather?
You want to rewind that?
Yeah, if you have 3 lightnings, you can do it on my turn.
Yeah, let's do it. 3 lightnings.
Because it's a hero action.
Oh, I can even do it on your turn?
You can. If it's an action that's out, I can call for another teammate to do the action.
Good, right?
Yeah. So that takes away his 8 hit points.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice. It puts him back at 16. So now we can...
Now I'm back down to 2 cards. I want to get this Optic Blast out.
So I got to get rid of that tough. I also got to get rid of this guy. So I'm going to attack with Boom Boom, which will defeat her. But she was not defeated by an attack. So it doesn't do anything bad. And he's going to take 1 damage and a bomb counter, which will go off and do 2 at the end of the turn.
Boom Boom's final...
Wolfbane will attack as well and do a 2nd damage.
I'll take a look at Wolfbane.
I wasn't a big fan of how they did Wolfbane in
Marvel
the movie.
Snap?
In the movie, but
I don't even
I like
Wolfbane in the movie.
Yeah, New Mutants, but I like that she was in it.
That movie. Does that movie count?
Yeah, it's. I mean, kind of. I don't know what define what counts.
Have I seen it?
I don't know if you've seen it.
It doesn't count for me. I have not seen it. Is it any good?
No. It's okay.
Is it all Wolfbane's fault?
No, actually, Wolfbane was one of the best parts about it. So, I'm going to use, since I'm an X-Men, I will use Team Building Exercise plus 1 resource, which will be Cyclops, to play X-Mansion. Either one of us can use this to heal 1 damage from a mutant or X-Men character.
Okay.
So why don't I just take that 1 damage off Cannonball right now? That way you can get some more use out of him.
Thank you, X-Mansion.
Unfortunately, that tough is still there. That's too bad. Blindfold will take a damage, and that will defeat Blindfold as well. To take 2 off of this one. That's not bad, but now I'm pretty short on allies, so I'm going to bring out... For 4, I'm going to bring out Storm. She costs 1 less if I'm a mutant or X-Men, which I am an X-Men. So she's going to cost 4, which is what I've got here. 2, 3, 4. So Storm is coming out. And I will just attack for 2 to get rid of that tough with Storm. That's really all she can do. So the tough is gone. All right, that's the end for me. That's it for both of us, right?
It is.
So Boom Boom's bomb is going to explode. This Sentinel dies. And oh, that retaliate thing is still out. So Storm still takes 1 back. All right, I only get 5 cards this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, I got the Danger Room and Cerebro this time. That's good. Is
that 16?
He's at 16. But first, we have to do the bad stuff, so we don't get to...
I know.
You were first player there. So we're going to add 2 onto this. He's going to attack you for 2. I don't know if you have any protection stuff in your hand that can protect you.
I have this, but I don't have any buddy.
Oh, you have mutant protectors but no mutants in your hand?
Correct.
Well, that's too bad. So you want to just take it, you can defend against it, or you can just let it hit you.
I will defend against it.
Okay, so you'll subtract 2 from the total value. So he's going to do 2 damage to you and stun you. Sorry, Cyclops is stunned. You can still use your Optic Blast while you're stunned, though.
You can?
You can. You just cannot attack. The next time you would attack, you discard stunned instead.
This is why you have Ryan around when you're playing Marvel Champions.
That's how I feel playing with Brant Sanderson. If you've ever played with Brant, like the way you feel playing with me, Brant, like he doesn't have to look at the cards. He just knows what they all do. It's pretty great.
Does his eyes roll back into the back of his
head? It's like a Mentat.
Just...
I think he would appreciate that comparison. He can do all that math in his head. Like he's very, very good at this game. I'm going to just take it. So it's just 2 for me. I didn't have nearly as bad of a situation.
Then we get encounter cards?
Yep, and then we get our terrible, terrible encounter cards. So you flip yours over first.
Mutant detected.
Ooh.
Mutant detected.
You got a choice.
Place the top card of your deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you.
Well, we already have 2 cards under here out of potential 5, so that's up to you. You ready to take another attack?
Not really.
Then you have to get rid of the top card of your deck. So now we've got 3 cards out of the potential 5 they have to kidnap. And I've got Assault. The villain attacks you. I'm at 7. I'll just take it. So he's attacking me for 2, 3, 4.
Oof. Oof.
It's okay. I can switch back and forth a lot.
Sentinels are not joking around.
No, they're not. This is actually not great. But we got it, so you can have me the first player token. So I'm going to play some more stuff out, which you might not be able to... Well, I should probably take this away. I've got some stuff hidden under here. Like I've got the X-Mansion downtime here, and then I'm playing the Danger Room. After an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Danger Room, put a training on that ally. So I can just attach a training directly to it. And then I will use Team Building Exercise to play Cerebro. I have to flip to my other side before I can play Cerebro. It's an alter ego action. So before I do any of that, let's just thwart for 3. So I can have something to do. And actually, I'll use one of these before I play Cerebro. I'll use one of these. And a resource to play Psychic Blast. Deal 4 damage to the villain. So I'm going to do 4 damage to him. So he's at 12. And then that does 1 damage back to me because that's stupid retaliate. But I'm flipping over to alter ego.
Is there a way to get... Oh, I see. We can get rid of the retaliate. That's not bad, though.
Yeah. So Cerebro, look at the top 5 cards of your deck for an ally and add that ally to your hand. But it doesn't put it into play.
Thematic.
Search your whole deck instead if you control a psionic character, which I do. So let's just use Cerebro, and I could look through my whole deck for an ally.
Wow, who are you going to get?
And add it to my hand. I don't know if I have many allies left that aren't dead. I'm going to get Professor X with that.
I mean...
But I can't play him. I cannot play Professor X, unfortunately. I think I'm going to use... I can heal a mutant or X-Men character. I think I'm going to heal myself. Because I'm at 2 health. So I go back up to 3. All right. That's me. Got quite a set of cards out here now.
All right, Ryan. I've got an upgrade called Training.
Ooh, nice. You have to put that on somebody,
Protective
though.
Training.
Yep.
I know. It gives them +3 hit points.
Oh, you could put it on Storm.
Storm?
I didn't even use Storm in Wolfsbane.
Well, use them.
But if I do use Wolfbane, she dies. That's fine. I'll do that. I'll let Wolfsbane die to do...
Storm won't?
I'm not going to use Storm. I'm going to do 2 damage to him. If you can put Protective Training on Storm, she'll survive even longer.
I will. All right, Protective Training.
Nice. Thank you.
Storm. I'll discard to do that.
She gets +3 hit points.
So
she has 6 HP. That's really good.
Let's see. His attack. What's he down to? 10?
He's down to 10 for his first form. And then the second form should go pretty quick once we've got everything set up.
All right. Here's what's happening.
Okay.
I can do this Optic Blast while stunned.
Yep.
Optic Blast.
Yep.
I'm going to do Full Blast.
Yep.
By discarding...
Both those cards?
Both of these cards.
Yep.
It's going to do...
11 damage?
11 damage.
Well, there we go. So that's his first form done. Like I said, we were going to get through it pretty quick. So his second form comes out. It's got 36 health, but we should burn through that pretty quick now that we're kind of set up. The first player pulls out a copy of Abduction Protocols and puts it into play. And he's got toughness. So we'll get through them. We got to find a copy of another Abduction Protocols goes into play.
Good.
And I get a face down encounter card because I was not the other player. The player that defeated that puts Abduction Protocols into play, and the other one gets a face down encounter card.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. So we're going to have 6 on there. It's okay, David.
It's okay.
All right. And then that's the end of our turn, right?
Yeah. So stun just stays on me.
Oh, you could have used Cannonball to do 2 damage.
Well, to take Tough off?
To take Tough off. Yeah, why not? But then he will get retaliated. But that's fine. You just don't want to block with him because you don't want him to die to the villain. All right. I'm first player, so he's going to thwart against me. So he's going to add 2 on there. Then he's going to thwart against me for 2, 3, and I become exhausted. That's unfortunate. And then he's going to attack you, David. So you could defend with Cyclops. You could sacrifice Cannonball to Operation Zero Tolerance.
And that would be 4 towards
That would be 4 out of the 5, yeah.
I'll defend.
So he's going to attack you for 3, 4, so you'll take 2. And then I get a second encounter card, and you get your first encounter card. This is where this could go really bad for us. Warn the others. Force response. After your turn ends, place this card face down after alter ego. Or after your turn ends, place this face down under Operation Zero Tolerance. Unless I can exhaust my identity, which is already exhausted because of that other card. I'm in trouble. This card gains Surge because I'm in alter ego mode. Attached to your identity, so I'm targeted for elimination. If you are engaged with a Sentinel, you cannot change form.
Okay.
So I got 2 bad things on me. What did you get? Oh, this is bad.
Abduction Protocols.
Another one.
Yeah. Are they all the same?
Yeah. There's just a lot of them in there. And eventually we're going to stop rescuing people, but we still have to deal with the Abduction Protocols. Well, that was it. So now you're first. Tell me we can defeat him in this turn, because I'm in trouble.
Defeat him?
36 damage. Come on, 36 Cyclops.
Damage?
Come on, you got this.
No, sir. No, I do not. Yeah, I can't do too much. There's only him out?
Yeah.
I will...
And we're going to add this Warn the Others is going to get added under Operation Zero Tolerance. There's nothing I can do about it. So we're going to be at 4 out of 5.
Also, this is an attack. He couldn't do this.
Correct. He couldn't do that if it says attack because he's stunned.
Well, so is Optic Blast.
Oh, Optic Blast is an attack?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is. Well, then they would get rid of...
cheated, everybody.
It's fine. It would get rid of
We're
stun.
a bunch of cheaters.
So you could use Optic Blast to get rid of stun. Just do it now.
I will.
It's the same thing.
Optic Blast to get rid of stun.
Just to turn off.
Now we're real cheaters.
And then you can use... But now you can use Rocket Beam. Or Ricochet Beam or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Beast... The Genius is 2 resources by itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Playing Ricochet Beam.
I would deal 3 damage to an enemy and then 3 damage with an enemy with an upgrade attached. And he has an upgrade attached. So you could
6,
do
right?
6. Yep.
But I get Retaliate?
Yeah. You get retaliated twice. Well, you just take 2 damage. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, you get retaliated twice. So you might want to flip over to the other form and not die, but that's up to you.
Can I do that right now?
You can.
I will.
I'll have to get rid of all that thread on there because if I don't, we're going to lose.
Should I have him go one last time? Oh, you know what I'll do, though? I'm going to play... Do you have anyone that you want this on? Well, you don't
to
have
give him
you only
extra.
have
I only have one ally, and that's Storm.
I'll put it on Cannonball.
Okay. We'll see what happens here. Are you ready? I have to flip... Actually, I'm gonna do Cerebro and look... actually, I don't have any X-Men left. I already know that. But I'm going to play Storm. Or Professor X. I'll play Professor X for 1. That's 1 resource left. 2, 3. To play Professor X. After an X-Men enters play, exhaust Danger Room. Put a training on that ally. So I will put a training on Professor X. He gets +1 thwart and +2 hit points.
How would you say this compares to Sentinels of the Multiverse?
I mean, I like this way better than Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Someone asked. They
I
never played
like
this, but they played this.
It's a fair comparison, but I like Champions a lot better.
All right.
I feel like there's a lot less to manage every round, but there's still a lot to manage.
It doesn't hurt that it's the Marvel characters.
Right. I'm going to ready an X-Men character. I'm going to ready Phoenix with Professor X. I'm in trouble here. So Professor X can thwart for 4 because of his ability. So he'll take 4 off of this one. Storm can take 2 off of this one and finish it off.
So you get...
I'll get another ally. The last ally that's over there. Which is Richter. After Richter attacks, deal 1 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with you. I don't have any. But I will attack the villain for 2. So he's at 28.
How does he do 2?
So he does 1 and then he does another 1.
I
But
see.
he would do it to all the villain and all minions. So he takes 1 for that stupid thing too. Retaliate. This is bad. I will play Game Time. Choose an ally. Heal it for 1 and ready it. So I'm going to ready Storm and then use her again to attack for 2. We're getting there. 26.
26.
I'm going to use one of these counters to play Telepathic Trickery, remove 4 threat from a scheme.
I feel like I'm just watching Ryan play Marvel
We're going to take 1 off of that one. No, Phoenix there's a lot Phoenix can do.
She does a lot more than Scott Summers.
And then I'm going to exhaust my identity to get rid of this targeted for elimination. Unfortunately, at the end of my turn, this card goes face down underneath Operation Zero Tolerance. So we can only take 1 more card under there. So do not block with an ally. If 1 more card goes under there, we lose. So.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, and we're probably going to lose in a minute anyway. So we're going to add 1 here. So that's at 7.
Yep.
And then you're in alter ego mode. So he's going to scheme for 2, 3, 4. Yep. So that did it. This is adding 4 to it. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So you'd have to take the top card of your deck, put it under there, and that's 5. So we didn't make it. I feel like we lost. We did pretty well.
I think you would have done better two-handing it.
Maybe.
I'm the weakest link.
I wouldn't call you the weakest link. I just got very unlucky.
He's being nice.
No, this Warn the Others is what did it. And the fact that I had a card that exhausted me, and then Warn the Others, you have to exhaust your identity to get rid of that card. After your turn. So, oh, you know what? I guess I could have... Oh, you were exhausted too, weren't you?
Yeah, I had...
So, it wouldn't have mattered.
A lot more... What do you mean exhausted?
I may have been able to call on you to get rid of that card for me since you were...
so many other allies in my deck.
They were just buried. That's okay. That was about an hour. We lost within an hour. So, that's fine. We almost had it. I feel good about the fight, even though we lost.
You do?
I do feel good about it. I think we did pretty good. So, I mean, it's Night of the Sentinels, right? We got close.
I think if we do another Marvel Champions live stream, we might have you two hand it just to see if you win.
We'll see. I mean, I
have a theory.
What's your theory?
That I'm the weakest link.
No. It was just the way the cards came out. I definitely think this is a better game than Sentinels of the Multiverse. It's very thematic. There's less to manage. There's a lot in Sentinels you have to remember. A lot. If you think this is a lot to remember, there's a lot of modular stuff in Sentinels, like locations, and there's just like a lot to remember.
To answer, I think it was Katie up there. You'll like this, I'm sure, if you like Sentinels. What's that?
Sorry, Deadpen said, "Great job, David. You sat there for 5 minutes and then made us lose immediately."
That's how I do.
It wasn't David's fault. That was just bad timing.
Deadpan. That should be an X-Men name.
Though I think the reason we lost was because you blocked with Nightcrawler in the very beginning of the game.
It is.
You
sure.
questioned that decision.
He did contribute to the loss.
He did.
For sure. As Nightcrawler does.
Yeah. But them pulling so many cards out from us was difficult too.
What I was going to say is you would like this if you like Sentinels of the Multiverse. If you don't like games that have a lot of tracking, then maybe not.
You get the hang of it. Like,
yeah, but it's a lot.
If you can track Sentinels of the Multiverse, you can do all the tracking in this game.
Absolutely. But, yeah, there's tracking to be done.
All right, well, sure. Phoenix and Cyclops failed against Night of the Sentinels.
Wolverine's probably happy.
Wolverine's in there.
I know, but if he'd teamed up with Jean, they probably would have won.
He's too busy staring at her picture. I wish I'd had that graphic queued up. If we had lost, I could have put a picture of us in there.
That would have
been perfect. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We will be back next week with another live stream.
And we'll win. One of us will, anyway.
Next time, it's not going to be cooperative, so one of us will win. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.